Uh, okay, let's see. Sound like Mr. Bowser may be having problems getting in as well. Let's see. Hello.
I got him. I'm talking to him right now. I was gonna send him
Commissioner Lucio, was this a different link from what was in the email?
It shouldn't have been.
Well,
I think it was.
It was.
Yeah, I don't know
what
I don't know what happened. Everyone else, the only people who had trouble were you, Commissioner Fletcher, and Commissioner Edwards. Everybody else who's in here got on from the link I sent. So I honestly don't know what the problem was, because it was the same link. So I don't know.
And Commissioner Edwards, I'm concerned that maybe the other folks don't have that link. They may have the same problem we do.
It's the same link. It's the same link. I checked the link, so I'm not sure what the problem was.
I don't know what's going on either, but I know.
Yeah, there's something with the link. I'm not saying it's your fault, Commissioner Lucio, but there's something with the link, because I couldn't get on.
I could not get on. I've been on since 6:35. And I couldn't get on.
I don't know what, honestly, I double checked in the Zoom and there was only one link, so I'm not quite sure what the problem was.
I was waiting in the room and then it said something about you had another meeting that was in session or something.
I'm telling you, I mean,
yeah. So
I clicked it. Yeah. So
okay. All right.
But as again, Commissioner Edwards, I'm concerned if the individuals from DCHD, because they said they were going to be on. And Jared from Wesley was supposed to be on as well. So if you sent that link from the email, they may be having a problem getting in as well, is what I'm saying. From the link that.
So Loren said he used the meeting ID and access code. So that should have, there was a meeting ID and access code, which was the same with the link. So if Commissioner Washington, if they are having trouble, they should, hopefully they can email somebody and I can check the emails while we're meeting and see. Okay. But I would suggest
there's no way you could maybe check to see if there is another meeting sort of where people are, and then you just tell people no?
No, that's what I'm saying. There's only one link. There is no other meeting. Because I checked the Zoom account. There's only one meeting scheduled for tonight.
Yeah, it must have been something with the initial, when you send it back out to me, just a link. It was fine. So I don't know if there's a way that it's
the same, but it's the same link. So I don't know what happened.
But it doesn't appear to be the same link, Commissioner Lucio. It doesn't.
I understand that, Chairman. I understand that. But what I'm saying is that in Zoom, they only give you one link per meeting. And whatever that link is the one I copied and pasted both times. So I don't know what happened, why it was a problem.
Yeah,
but
it's technology and it's the internet and all that kind of stuff. So we'll just have to just blame it on that. And I think what we will do at this point is move forward with sort of starting the meeting and as indicated, hopefully anybody who's lost will reach out to somebody and say, hey, I'm lost and can't get in, and then
I'm going to email the One Hawaii Avenue people right now.
Yeah.
Richard Livingston.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know the DHCD contacts. I don't know who they were.
It's Richard Livingstone.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm looking at the email now.
I've got it, and I'm replying right now with the link. So
okay.
Okay, so we can go ahead. So I
have a solution.
Who's that?
This is Steve Lowe. I clicked on the link in the email and it did not work. It said the host has a meeting in progress, and it never went anywhere.
That's what it said.
What I did, I cut and pasted the link from the message into a tab on my internet and clicked on that, and it worked.
Right. So it's the same link. So something's just happening when you just click on the embedded link. So you can either cut and paste it into your browser, or you can use the ID and access code. So it's the same link, but there was something wrong with it when you just use the embedded one. So thank you, Steve. Okay. And I put the agenda in the chat for everybody.
All right. So, go ahead, Commissioner Washington. You want to say something? Commissioner Washington? Okay, all right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your patience this evening with us. We're having some technical problems, but nevertheless, we are now, I think, prepared to proceed. Commissioner Lucio, could you please confirm that we have a quorum?
Yes, Chairman Edwards is in attendance, Commissioner Washington's in attendance, Commissioner Lucio's in attendance, Commissioner Fletcher's in attendance, Commissioner Lockett's in attendance, which means we have 5 commissioners in attendance. We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Today's meeting is a special meeting that we talked about a little bit at our last meeting as needing to have to happen based on the fact that our treasurer at the time was waiting on some more information or coordination with the Office on ANC before we could vote on the final budget for FY23. We didn't want to leave the new commission coming in stranded without an operating budget. So we knew we had to have a special meeting tonight to at least discuss that budget. And subsequent to that, we received a letter from DHCD on November 22nd, informing us that they were considering a application from the Wesley housing project on 1 Hawaii Avenue for an application with the Housing Production Trust Fund. They're looking for approximately $18,000. And so we decided to add that to the agenda because they are looking for ANC input, and we have to have that information in by Saturday, January the 2nd, the 7th. And so for those reasons, and because this was a project on our watch, we decided to place this on the agenda for this evening. Those are the only 2 items that we have on the agenda this evening, and those are the only 2 items that we can discuss this evening. So
Chairman Edwards, I'm sorry, can I ask a clarification question?
yes.
I did put on there, since this is the last meeting with this commission, approval of the minutes from the November 2022 meeting. Since the new commission won't be able to approve that, are we allowed to do that during this meeting?
Yeah, I think we can.
Well,
I had sent them to everybody.
but did they go out on the agenda
Yes, they did.
on the one you sent today?
They went out on the original agenda and they went out on the one again I sent today.
Okay, so yeah, we can do it.
I don't even see the agenda for today.
I had sent it last week and then I sent an updated copy last night.
And you also sent copies of the minutes that you want us to approve as well.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and I saw those. And those were from the November 16th meeting. So I don't have a problem with adding those, considering it was on the notice. And if anybody have any objections, let me know. All right, so the first item, Commissioner Washington, if you're ready, we can talk about the FY23 budget.
Can we do the minutes first, since that's first on the agenda?
All right, I don't have the updated agenda then, I'm sorry. Okay, I just have the 2 items on the agenda. Okay.
That's all I have.
Right,
That's-
it says agenda review, item number 4 is approval of minutes, and then it says item 5, commission business.
Okay, all right. I see it now. All right, so let's do that. The minutes for November 2022. Commissioners, you have it before you. What's your pleasure? Yeah, this one, Commissioner Washington has the 4th quarter financial report in it, so we need to make sure we get this approved as well.
Chairman Edwards, I move that we approve the November 14th, 2022 minutes as submitted.
It's November 16th, right? At least that's what-
I'm sorry, November, yes, sorry, November 16th.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded that we approve, ANC 5A approve the minutes submitted for November 16th, 2022. You ready for a question? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, let the record reflect that the minutes were approved unanimously.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, then now we move to you, Commissioner Washington, with the FY 23 budget.
Correct. Good evening, everyone. Excuse me. I sent a copy of the ANC's FY 23 budget to each commissioner. I hope you had a chance to look at it and go over the information that was presented on the document. Excuse me. It was sent in an email to me that the ANC had to have their budget approved by December 31st in order to for the commission to be able to move forward with a budget for FY 2023. I think the Office of Advisory Neighborhood Commission was late in getting it out because normally we have our budget approved in September, so it can be submitted in October, which is the beginning of the fiscal year. This time it didn't happen, but we're in compliance, so that's all that matters. Commissioner Lucio, I don't know if you can put a copy of the budget up for those individuals who may not have looked at the budget or don't have their copy. So I'll go through the budget that's being submitted for approval for FY 23. So from FY 22, the balance that was forwarded from our last fourth quarter financial report, which I will say was approved by the Office of Advisory Neighborhood Commission on Tuesday. No further documents are needed. Everything is in good shape. So when 5A moves forward, their budget is correct. The balance that was moved forward was $57,305. That's what the ending balance was at the end of the fourth quarter, which ended on September 30th, 2022. The projected district allotments that the commission will get is budgeted at $23,068, which gives you a total available funds during the FY 23 that will come to $80,373. Of course, you know you're going to be spending down on those dollars, and the allotments are given per quarter, as you will see at the top of the budget: first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth. What they did not allow us to put into the system this time was the dollar amount that you would get each quarter. And why, I don't know, but I spoke with Dawn and she said, leave that alone. So when we moved down to the disbursement of funds, what I did from the previous fiscal year is try to bring over the same dollar amounts that we kind of approved in the previous fiscal year. I think the only thing that I did increase was the grant column, and that's something we can discuss if that's what you want to do. If not, we can take it back down to the 8,500. But I was trying to allow so that if you guys decided to remain with this budget and this budget fits your needs, then you wouldn't have to do an amended budget to add additional dollars in for grants. So I'll go down the line. The communications is 10,000. Office supplies, 8,500, grants, 15,000, as I just said, purchase of service, $1,000. I also increased the bank charges because as of January the 1st, all of the charges for the bank are going up. The maintenance fee, check fees. I mean, they have a ton of fees that are added on to bank charges, which I will share with the commission or whoever becomes the treasurer so that they'll be able to see that on the bank statements that I have ending as of November 30th. And we always put in other $500 just in case of incidentals, which would brought the projected budget for FY 23 to $35,500. as you will see under the first quarter, you'll see where there was expenditures of $3,924.55. That's what has been expended in the first quarter to date of the first quarter. So that's why that dollar amount is in there. That was the amount that the Office of Advisory Neighborhood had already put into the form. I had no control over that because the form, the budget, the entire spreadsheet system for the budget is all tied together. So whatever information is put in, it's going to trickle over, formulate over to that form automatically. So right now we're looking at a projected budget of $35,500 with a total funds available for the entire fiscal year of $80,373. And so, and the ending balance at the end of the fiscal year projected is $44,000. It just depends on if you have to go back and you decide you want to amend your budget, then the dollar amounts will change accordingly. Anybody have any questions?
Commissioner Washington, I do. I just wanted clarification. So just so I make sure, on the communications line, that does include the cell phone usage and the website? Or is the website under something different?
The website will probably, well, when we did the website, we did it under communications.
Okay, that's what I wanted to
do believe. But we need to check to make sure, which I did not do. It could be a purchase of service because it's a contract.
Right.
Which would mean you'd have to add additional money.
So, and we know that contract exists, so we want to make sure that we at least have a line item there if it's not clear that it's in communications.
Exactly, right? Exactly. But everything is, basically everything is in communication. The cell phones, the copier machine, everything, anything that has to do with the PO boxes, everything is under communications.
I'm gonna ask a question, Commissioner Washington, because the copy machine is in the office, which none of us have used in 2 years now. Is there a service agreement on that copy machine?
Probably not.
Okay.
But the machine is paid for and you can always get a contract through any vendor. It doesn't have to be that vendor if you need it.
Right. It just hasn't been used in over 2 years. So I think.
Well, we haven't been in the office either because of COVID. So.
Right. That's why.
Well, let me say, in the last year I've gone in there. So I have been in.
Don't base your future experiences on anything that's happened over the last couple of years.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Commissioner Washington, I guess, are you saying that this budget is fine now, or do we need to make an amendment?
Well, that's up to, I would suggest that because I'm not sure of how they're doing things now with grants, because I'm not, I haven't been involved because I'm not going to be a commissioner. I know previously that we would do it according to communication, but it may be a purchase of service. So I would suggest that we put money in that line item for the contract, but you don't know how much the contract is going to be for, but I would put enough money in to cover.
Right, and we've already allowed for coverage of certain maintenance expenses already for October, between October and now, right? And that's what we're talking about for the first quarter.
Well, the maintenance agreement for the contract is minimal. It's only about $200 for the year. I mean, it's a hosting and a maintenance. The charges that are on that contract are for services.
Okay.
When you want to fix something, you want to upgrade, you want to add, that's service.
All right. And the only thing I think I'm saying, and you can help us to decide whether or not another line item needs to be in there. But we have already approved a contract with the vendor to provide the service, and continuation of that is contingent upon the new commission. But if we have a contract in place, we need to also put in place a budget line item going forward to make sure that it's covered. I would think.
Commissioner Edwards, we do not have, the contract is through December 31st without any funds on it. No funding, because it's already been paid. No services should be provided, because when we had that meeting, we said that it was said by Commissioner Lucio, we don't think we're going to have any additional costs. And that's when we were trying to do something.
No. What I'm saying is that our existing contract that we have says that it goes through the end of December, right? Subject to the approval of the new commission going forward, right?
And we extended that through February for them to make that determination. So we extended
it through February. So what I'm saying is that between October and up to now, and even through February, there's going to be expenditures against that contract, no matter what the amount is. And so are you saying, and if you're saying, hey, it comes out of communications, that's fine. But I guess my question to you is, do we have in our current budget a line item for this purchase?
Well, I'm a little confused. And the reason why I'm confused is because when we discussed this contract back in April or May, the contract was supposed to be for the period through 2024. And we couldn't go to 2024 because we wouldn't be commissioners.
That's right.
And we decided we needed to amend it to make it say 2022. Then there was some conversation that came up as it relates to whether or not there was, when I said we didn't have any money left on the contract, whether we were going to require any additional services through the end of the fiscal year. And that was said no. So now we're in the new fiscal year and services are being provided. And we didn't approve a dollar amount for the new fiscal year.
Right, but
what you're saying now is we're going to be approving a dollar amount to be included in the budget for the expenditures that we've already had for FY23. And if it doesn't come out,
what I'm saying is that we should have in this budget a line item to carry the website forward into 23. And then it would be up to the new commission what adjustments they make to that line item. But we should have a line item in there that says, hey, we are passing on to you a website that needs to be maintained and funded. And so here's a line item that covers that. Now it's up to you whether or not this number is sufficient or not.
I would say that the $1,000 purchase of service would be sufficient for this quarter. After this quarter, they can go in and amend it and do whatever they need to do.
Okay, so $1,000, the new line item for purchase of service for $1,000. I don't have a problem with that, but
it's in there. Yeah, but what I was understanding, what I was getting from is that we need to approve a total dollar amount for the contract.
Oh, no,
that's what I thought you were saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying we need to at least have some kind of a line item so that the contract can continue into the new year.
Okay.
And $1,000 works for me.
Yes.
If some other commissioner has a different suggestion or something, we can certainly listen to it. But I think that's reasonable.
Commissioner Lockett, you have your hand up.
Yes, one question. Does 5A have the authority to disperse money to organizations like Boys Town, if you want to give them something for Christmas, or any other organization in the area, food bank or something like that? Do they have the authorization to disperse money to those individuals?
Commissioner Lockett, out of due process and order, I want to rule that question out of order. And then after we get finished with this budget and all of that, then we'll come back to that maybe as some part of an unofficial discussion or something that we have. But that it's kind of taking me off track.
Understood. Understood, Chairman.
Okay, I'm going to rule that out of order. Now, are there any discussions on the budget issue?
Chair members, I just want to ask one question. So Commissioner Washington, as when the new commission goes in January, we will need immediately to renew the contract. Is that correct?
Yeah, you guys do need to renew the
I just wanted-
contract because it expired as of the 31st, yes.
Yes.
Actually, I think we
We
gave
did
you
it till
time.
January 31st.
Yeah, something like that, right.
Yes, we did it till January 31st. So the new
Right.
commission will need to do a new contract with a service agreement. Okay, I just wanted to make sure, confirm
Mhm.
that. Thank you.
Yes,
So the thing that you won't have to do is at that point then have to amend your budget even to have a discussion about it, because you'll have a line item in there and you'll just need to increase that budget
right.
if we approve this recommendation here to add to that budget, that line item. Okay, so you all the treasurer has proposed an amendment, and so we can just do that by common consent to this budget that we have, which would include an additional $1,000 line item for the website purchase of service, I think.
But so you want to increase, are you increasing that $1,000? Because that's just, the $1,000 is already there for purchase of service.
In the 10,000, right?
No, it's a line item, item 7.
It's already in there.
It's already there.
Okay. So, then so we're good.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's
Okay.
already
All right.
there.
Okay, all right, so we're good. Okay, so commissioners, are you ready now in the vote on that budget? Commissioner,
Nobody's saying anything.
Yeah,
None of
I'll move that we accept the budget as submitted by Commissioner Washington.
Second.
okay, it's been properly moved and seconded that the budget is submitted by the treasurer is that we will accept that budget. Is there any unreadiness on that motion? All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, let the record reflect that the motion was unanimous. That the vote was
Thank
unanimous.
you.
Chairman Edwards, we do have a representative from Wesley Housing on the call.
Actually, you have 2, I believe.
Okay.
I think we
Yeah.
may have 3.
Yeah.
All right. So then we will move right into item B or C then on the agenda, which is the DHC $18 million Housing Fund Trust contribution. And as I said in the beginning, this is a project that 5A had worked on in Commissioner Washington's SMD. We voted to support the Wesley Housing project. During that time, there were discussions about possible housing trust intervention into it. And so we did receive a letter from Housing on the 22nd of November indicating that they were considering the application of Wesley Housing. And so on that, with that, I will turn it over to Commissioner Washington to sort of get us into the discussion with our guests.
Well, I think Commissioner Edwards, you stated it properly and correctly. And I don't know if there's someone from the DCHD housing on. If they are, I don't see them. But I will move forward with turning it over to, I guess, Camilla or to Jared, so that you guys can go forward and explain what you all have requested from DCHD and give a little background on what the Housing Trust Fund is and what you're seeking from the commission.
Sure, absolutely. I'll just start and I will turn it over to Jared for the details. But hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Camilla McAfee. I'm currently the Senior Vice President for Real Estate Development at Wesley, and I'm the incoming CEO President starting in January. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to get this project off the ground in terms of starting construction. As Commissioner Washington knows, and probably many of you as well, this is a long time coming for us. Just to give a quick recap for those who may not be familiar, this property was previously owned by the notorious slumlord Sanford. and was in bankruptcy court. And Wesley, in partnership with the Tenant Association, positioned ourselves to be able to acquire the property back in 2018. And collectively with the residents went through a process of discernment to figure out if the best opportunity would be to renovate the 34 units that are there, or to potentially take the project through a PUD process to be able to increase the number of affordable housing units that we could produce in the District of Columbia with the highest quality of design, as well as energy efficiency for the benefit of, for the long-term benefit, not only of the residents that are there today, but future residents for the property. And so we're excited to be able to, you know, expand the unit types from 1 bedrooms, predominantly 1 and 2 bedrooms, to include 2 and 3 bedroom units, to be able to create amenity space, both indoors and outdoors, for the residents, and also a number of other community benefits. So we applied back in, so took it through a long-term PUD, applied for funding through DHCD and through the Housing Finance Agency for tax-exempt bonds back in 2019, and then the pandemic. So, you know, you all are probably familiar that DHCD went through a little bit of a hiatus between approving new projects. And so we were on the back end of that, and they finally approved this project for to advance for underwriting in late 2021. And now we're in the position where they're proposing the project to council to approve, and to the ANC to approve for a funding commitment. So I'm going to turn it over to Jared there to kind of you know, give you the update about the next steps and where we are, and answer any other questions that you all may have. But we're excited to get this.
Thank you, Camilla.
Thanks, Camilla. I think you covered the highlights. The one thing I would say is, you know, Commissioner Edwards asked for us to provide some of the resident benefits specifically. And, you know, so I would say, Commissioner Edwards, I think probably the most important thing is that, you know, we're going to be relocating and for 2 years and returning everyone at the site. They're going to pay their same rents. And we're paying for their moving expenses for their temporary relocation, helping them through their temporary relocation process. You know, they're going to get to move into a brand new unit when they move back. Everybody is welcome back, and not only welcome back, it's part of our project to return as many people as we can. We have we're going to have caps on future rents, really very, very low utility expenses. It's a high performance building that we're going to be building. We're going to have enhanced resident services. And we also are going to be making a contribution to support the ANC.
Yeah, let me just ask you now, and not that it should be, or I'm just asking. So then what about individuals that don't live there but live in the district and is trying to relocate maybe and want to move there? Are there incentives for that kind of, is there anything in there for that?
So we have 23 residents that are being temporarily relocated and returning. I think, you know, we're going to measure our success by as many of those 23 as we can return. And then besides that, there are an additional 47 units available, new units available to residents of the district. And we assume people will be lining up for those.
And they're at varying affordability levels. I don't know the details exactly for this deal. There's many in my head, but we have some at 30%, 40%, 50, right, Jared? I think 30, 40.
We have 8 units at 30%, 28 units at 50%, 16 units at 60%, and then only 18 units at 80%. No 100% AMI. We have 15 of our units are 3 bedrooms for families. And the majority of the units are below 60% AMI.
And just to give you some context for that numerically, you may be familiar, but I'm thankful that this year it kind of lines up with a one-person calculation that roughly folks at 30% are making under $30,000, roughly, 50% is roughly $50,000, and so forth and so on. It's the way the math works out this year, it kind of lines up that way.
Commissioner Lucio, I see your hand.
Thank you. I have 2 quick questions. You mentioned donation to the ANC. I was wondering if you have the specific amount of that and when you anticipate providing that, so I can put that in the minutes.
Yeah, so
Can I make a correction? One
Sure.
correction, it's not to the ANC, it's to the
Civic Association.
Association, not the
That's
ANC.
that's
Okay.
why I was
ANC
confused.
cannot
Okay.
take any donations.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was confused.
I
So
wanted
it's
to
to the
correct
Civic
that.
Association.
Okay.
Okay,
It's the
so it is
Civic
to the Civic
Association.
Association. Got it.
Of
Okay, I
course,
want to make
yes.
sure. Thank you, because I
To the-
didn't recall us having a conversation about that. So
Oh, it's
Fort Totten
yes,
Civic
okay.
Association.
Fort Totten
Fort-
Civic Association. I'm
Thank
looking
thank
at
you.
the
Okay,
I'm looking at the
It-
PUD right now.
got it.
So
Thank you.
yeah. So yes, it's actually a donation to the Fort Totten Civic Association. Sorry about
And I
that.
believe we also committed in the PUD to allow that amenity space that we have available, open that up to the Civic Association, hold meetings there as well, and possibly to you all as well, I'm pretty sure, if you would like. So that was all a part of the PUD process.
All right.
I may say it was a pretty extensive PUD process and benefits. package.
Yes.
I mean, I'm really grateful to Camilla and Wesley for the numerous meetings, the times we met, and all of the negotiations that we held on this project. It was very great. It was a very good process.
Yeah, and
Great
Commissioner
advocacy for
Washington.
residents. I think one of the questions I see in the chat is the current residents guaranteed a home in the new building. They are. So they are guaranteed not only just a home, that was a heavy negotiation process, a like kind unit. So down to the square footage of those units. So that was guaranteed. And as far as delays and deliveries, as construction challenges that we're living through right now in this challenging building time, we are for the most part subsidizing rents and or moves and or storage costs for residents to be relocated during this temporary period, and that will continue until they return to the new building, until the building is delivered and they opt to come back. If they opt to not come back to the building, then they are responsible for their ongoing rental arrangement thereafter, but there will be a home for them back at One Hawaii.
Okay. Commissioner Lockett, you're up.
Yes, one question about the structure itself. Are we providing any type of green space thing, solar panels or hot water tanks on the wall, anything like that?
So this project is actually one of 2 LEED Platinum, U.S. Green Building Council LEED Platinum residential projects that's going to be in the city. There's only one other one, and our general contractor built the other one and was selected because of that. There is a integrated green roof and solar on top combined. We have a sort of a special building envelope. We have a separate just the facade, is especially insulated. And we have a high efficiency mechanical system, HVAC, like AC system. And we anticipate that the power bills for the residents in a studio will be about $30 a month, like $25, $30 a month. In a 1-bedroom, like $50 a month. In a 2-bedroom, 60, 65. So very low utility bills. Yeah, one of the most efficient residential buildings in DC.
One last question. Will there be accommodations for people with handicaps or disabled people?
Certainly.
Okay,
There's 2 elevators and there are at least 2 access points that are accessible.
okay. Thank you.
You finished, Commissioner? Okay, Commissioner Fletcher, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you all for the presentation. Just a quick question. I've dealt with a similar project in my single member district, a 5808, residents moving from Riggs Plaza apartments to the modern. So I'm familiar with this process. So I appreciate the work that you're doing to not displace residents, especially Native Washingtonians, Black and Brown residents. So just want to start with that. But I want to ask about utilities. That's one of the issues that I know that residents in my single member district dealt with. There was an increase in utilities from moving from Riggs Plaza apartments to the modern. Do you forecast, project, see that could potentially be a similar situation at Wesley House? And if so, have you talked around that at all? Because many residents are on fixed income, so the slightest change in utility costs can have a real effect on their month-to-month living.
Camilla, you want me to take this? Or you?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so thanks, Commissioner Fletcher, for the question. We understand that so there are a set of residents that are paying their utilities currently at Hawaii and a set of residents that are not. And for those that are not paying their utilities, we're going to move to a system where everyone is. And for those that are not, we're going to estimate their utilities and reduce their rent by that amount. So, so let's say we estimate it's $50. Their rent used to be $500. In the new building, their rent is going to be $450. And then they're going to have $50. And that's in our development agreement. So that's not just something that we're doing on the side.
Sorry.
You're on mute.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Is it in writing?
It is in writing.
Okay. Okay.
It was extensive.
The residents have a very good attorney who, who takes care of them.
And advocates in the Civic Association and the
Yeah.
ANC.
And the ANC, right?
And
I was going to
yes.
say, and a great ANC. All right, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm good to go.
We work in a bunch of places around DC, and not everyone has a Commissioner Washington. I'll tell
Right?
you.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. All ANCs are not equal.
So we're having a great discussion here, and this is an exciting project. Really glad to see sort of this discussion being had at the end of this commission's term. I want to get us back on focus now so that we can sort of take care of the business that we need to get taken care of here today. Commissioners, I sent you all a copy of the letter from DHCD. The letter was dated November the 22nd, and I'm going to read the first 2 paragraphs of that letter because I want to make sure that the record is clear exactly what it is that we're doing here. Basically, it says, Dear Commissioner, pursuant to DC Code, they were informing we were being informed by DHCD that the department proposes to provide Wesley Hawaii LLC, an affiliate of Wesley Housing Development Corporation of Washington of Northern Virginia, with funding in an approximate amount of $18,600,000 in housing production trust funds that will be used to finance acquisition, construction, and related costs for the affordable housing project to be located at 1 Hawaii Avenue. Please be advised that the Advisory Neighborhood Commission 5A has 30 business days from the date of this notice to submit comments on the above proposed action. District law requires that the department give great weight to all relevant ANC concerns or recommendations. We respectfully request that any comment in response to this waive the remainder of the statutory 30-day on ANC notice comment period. The department must receive comments by Saturday, January 7th, 2022. And so commissioners, basically, as indicated at the beginning of the meeting, this is one of our ongoing long-term projects. We are seeing a lot of advancement in the neighborhood. They have applied for the funds from DC Housing Production Trust Fund, and it is something that they now want ANC 5A to comment on with regard to whether or not we support it. Commissioner Washington, you have the floor.
Thank you, Commissioner Edwards. And I would like to say that after hearing what you just read, I would like for the commission to support this process and approval of the Housing Trust Fund for the Wesley Housing Development at 1 Hawaii Avenue.
Is that a motion?
That is a motion.
Is there a second?
Second the motion.
All right. Commissioners, it has been moved and seconded that ANC 5A support the request for funding in the amount of the $18,600,000 from the Housing Production Trust Fund for the 1 Hawaii Avenue project. Is there any unreadiness? I see Commissioner Holloway has his hand up. Commissioner Holloway, you have the floor.
I think his hand's up, Chairman.
I'm here. I just
Okay.
wanted to ask, I heard the gentleman speak about the prior contractor that they used. And I was just wondering, can they share with us who's the prior contractor they used before, which is the same one that they say that they're going to be using now? I think it's a good project. I just wanted to know who was the contractor that you used before on another project that they're going to be using now.
It's a WC Smith Construction. And the other
Okay.
project that they did was Sheridan Place in Anacostia.
Okay.
And just to clarify, we have worked with WCS on other projects of our own. That project, Sheridan Place, was another developer. The comment was in regards to them having built the only other LEED Platinum certified building in the district. So just want to make sure that that's clear.
Okay. And Commissioner.
Okay, I appreciate that. All right.
Commissioner Lucio, for the record, just make sure that it is updated to include Commissioner Holloway as being present. Any other unreadiness? Any other questions? All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, hearing none, let the record reflect that that vote was unanimous. Ms. McAfee and Mr. Lane, we appreciate you all being here. Do you have anything to say in closing?
Just thank you so much for the support. We really appreciate it. And just kudos again to your rock star of a commissioner. Commissioner Washington has been extremely helpful to us. We are finishing up, I'm sure y'all know, we're finishing up relocation at the site, and she has been integral at helping navigate some of the challenges that we have in the city, finalizing that process. But you know, we're almost at the finish line here, so we're anxious for a good kickoff in 2023. Thank y'all so much.
And I would just say, you know, Commissioner Washington, we know that you're stepping back from the commission, but we want to keep you in the loop on
Absolutely.
everything.
Absolutely.
And you know, we'll keep you updated.
Great.
Right.
Thank you both. I appreciate you very
All right,
much.
thank you all.
Sure.
Take care.
Commissioner Lockett, you have the floor.
Yes, Ms. Lane. Make sure you take care of Mr. Cook, okay?
We're doing our
Right.
best.
All right.
We
Mr. Cook.
promise.
Oh, yeah,
Dee,
Mr. Cook.
We have like 3 people on our team assigned just to Mr. Cook. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Cook is, yeah. Have him sing a tune for you, okay? Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah,
All
let
right.
me just tell you guys, Mr. Cook is in the hospital and he's having surgery tomorrow.
Uh,
Yes.
Prayers.
Oh,
Yes.
Prayers.
what
Yes.
hospital? What
GW.
hospital?
GW.
GW? Okay, but it's okay, nothing major.
We'll see. He's having surgery tomorrow. I'll call you.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
Commissioner Lockett, you had a question, I think, that we said was out of order, and I forgot what it was. Is it something that we want to finish up? Because I'm getting ready to close out. What was
Are you-
it again?
Is that you get forgetting because you're getting old, Chairman?
I forgot what it was.
Okay, no, the question was is that does 5A have the authority to go out in there and say they want to make some type of donation out of the funds for 5A to Boys Town for Christmas and things of that nature, or St. Anne's here for the babies there or something? Do they have the authority to do that?
No.
Okay,
Only thing that can be done
Only-
is someone responds had to apply for a grant.
grant, okay, that's the only way.
That's
We
correct.
cannot do, well, not we, there's no more we, okay, all right, thank you.
Your work is done, pretty much for this term.
That's right.
Anyway, and again, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. A very good meeting. Thanks
Yes.
all the commissioners for showing up. I know this is the holiday season. Everybody getting ready to get in. So look, let's go enjoy. Hopefully, everybody
Yes.
has a blessed year. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Merry
Okay.
Christmas and Happy New Year's
Merry
to all of
Christmas,
you. Enjoy
everybody.
your families.
Take care.
Holidays.
Hi.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.